Welcome to the JOTO Show. Here's your host. I'm Jay Lickers and Tony Baloney.
Hey everybody, this is episode 1 of the inaugural season. So let's get it started. With any inaugural season of anything, you gotta introduce the main characters, you know? So that leads us to the main question. Who are we?
I'm Josh, aka Jay Lickers.
And I'm Tony Baloney. You put them together and you get the JOTO Show. Now, on this weekly show, we like to ask this question each time. What's going on, sports world? First off, I'd like to mention the 49ers wide receiver Ricky Pearsall was shot on Saturday afternoon in San Francisco in an attempted robbery. Here's the MLB playoff picture. Start with the AL, where in the East, the Orioles lead. Yankees are not far behind. They're only half a game behind. In the Central, the Guardians have a 5-game lead. And for the West, the Astros have a 6-game lead. As for the National League, Philly and the Phillies, they have 82 wins, while the Braves are behind them with 75. Brewers at 81 wins, Cubs at 71, right behind them by 10 games. And the Dodgers got 84 wins to lead the West, and the Padres are in second with 79. Well, college football started last week, or a week and a half ago-ish. So here's a recap of week 0/1. Start off, we had Florida State go against Georgia Tech, and the Seminoles actually lost to Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets, this is their first time they've beaten a ranked team since 2015. That team they beat in 2015, Florida State. Our next matchup was Montana State taking on New Mexico. And this one was a close game. I watched live, and New Mexico had a pretty good lead until Montana State and the Bobcats just started coming back. Our third game here, we have Sacramento State visiting the San Jose State Spartans. The Hornets were up 24-21 at the start of the fourth, and the Spartans answered by doubling their score to finish 42-24.
Cincinnati Bearcats won 38-20. My team won at 38-20 over the Townsend Tigers. Georgia over Clemson, ranked teams. Beginning the game, I was watching some of this game. It was start off slow, and then Georgia took it away.
Yeah. As for our biggest differential, we like to do this every week. Our biggest differential was 76, with Ole Miss scoring 76 on the Furman Paladins, who scored 0. Another thing we like to do is talk about our highest total. Here's our highest total with no overtime of 100. It was the New Mexico Lobos losing against the Arizona Wildcats. But speaking of overtime, here is a crazy matchup that happened. We had a total score of 103, with 52 of those coming from Texas Tech, and the other 51 from the Abilene Christian Wildcats. This game should not have been this close, if I'm to be honest with you.
Really?
But we must move on to our next segment called Pick Seis, preseason edition. Now you might be thinking, what does the seis mean? Well, seis in Spanish means 6, so it's pick 6. It's kind of like a little football joke, you know? But it's also an abbreviation. It stands for season ending injuries or surgeries. So let's start with our first member of the Pick Six, BJ Ojulari. Torn ACL. He is going to be out for the whole season, as implied by the fact that it's a season-ending injury. Cardinals really liked this guy last year. Looked promising, but yeah, torn ACL, never good. Our next guy is Rondale Moore, who he suffered a knee injury during the offseason. WR1 for the Falcons, but now with this injury, they have to rely on other options. They still have Drake London. They still have Kyle Pitts, who's going to play half tight end, half wide receiver. They still got a few
Interesting.
names.
That's interesting.
Now for this guy, we have rookie JJ McCarthy from the Vikings, who suffered a torn meniscus in week 1 of the preseason. And with that torn meniscus, he had to get season-ending knee surgery.
Really?
Vikings will have to deal with Sam Darnold as their starter for most of the season, if not all of the season.
Nice.
Now we have AJ Dillon from the Packers. He suffered a neck injury and will be out for the season. Packers will have to rely on Josh Jacobs now without AJ Dillon. Elijah Mitchell with a hamstring surgery. Suffered a hamstring injury earlier on, had to get surgery. Will be out for the season for the Niners. There's a great running back too behind McCaffrey, but now we'll have to be with one less weapon.
How
And
big?
finally, for our 6, we have Chase Edmonds from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He suffered a knee injury. He, if I'm not mistaken, was a running back 1 or 2. Either way, losing a running back 1 or 2 can really affect the team.
Yeah, it does. That would be bad for any teams like that.
Yeah. Some other notable injuries we got here. You can check it out yourself. They have their estimated return date as well. Jakeem Grant Sr. from Atlanta, rookie Braylon Trice from Atlanta, Cam Sample from Cincinnati. All of those guys have season-ending injuries.
That sucks.
Yeah. While Matt Milano will return maybe in early December, Keaton Mitchell in early November, Nick Chubb, Deron Bland, Tyler Higbee, Bradley Chubb, TJ Hawkinson, Ricky Pearsall, and Dre
Very
Greenlaw.
all topper.
Yes. Well, what about the NBA or NHL, you ask? Not much. They haven't started yet. Not until October or late September if you count NHL preseason. Let's talk about some soccer. The Premier League's current standings as of match week 3. We have Man City on top, tied with Liverpool with 3 wins, no losses, no draws. Brighton, Arsenal, Newcastle round up top 5 with 2 wins and 1 draw each. Brentford and Aston Villa are tied with 2 wins and 1 loss. Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest have 1 win and 2 draws.
Probably means it's a tie in soccer.
Yes. And to round up top 10, we have Tottenham with 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss, which is tied with Chelsea and Fulham. West Ham has a win and 2 losses alongside Manchester United. Manchester City has 1 draw, 2 losses, as well as Crystal Palace, Ipswich Town, and Wolves. And to round it all off in the bottom, Southampton and Everton both have 3 losses. It's time for our biggest part of the section, the NFL weekly predictions. Start off with Thursday Night Football. We have Baltimore visiting Kansas City.
That's
Kansas
not
City,
that's gonna be a
as
good
you know,
game.
yes, that is going to be a
Kansas
good
City
game.
beat the Ravens in the playoffs. See, this is a rematch.
Yep. This is a rematch of the AFC Conference Championship. which Kansas City won and eventually won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Who do you got in this game?
Kansas City, not Kansas City, Baltimore.
Yeah, I got the Ravens too. Despite winning back-to-back Super Bowls, this is regular season. Kansas City likes to play a little safe in regular season sometimes. We move on to the Brazil game on Friday. The Packers are going against the Eagles. Thoughts on this one?
Eagles don't win this game. I'm gonna be watching this game too. If the Eagles come back lose this game, I'll be surprised.
I wouldn't. Jordan Love's recently got paid and became one of the highest paid. I think he actually is the highest paid, if I'm not mistaken, quarterback.
Okay, next.
But yeah. Moving on now, we have Jay Lakers team here, the Cincinnati Bengals hosting the New England Patriots.
It's gonna be all orange. That got it all orange in this game. It's gonna be a good game. Patriots quarterback. They've been a lot of quarterbacks past couple years with Tom Brady, then Cam Newman, and then I don't think Cam Newman plays for them anymore.
No.
They've been to a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Then your
Ever
next,
since Brady left,
yeah,
they've had struggles at QB. They've had an old Cam. They've had
Cam Newman.
Mac Jones, who is all right.
Who's their quarterback now?
Jacoby Brissett will be starting, but they also have rookie Drake May.
Nice.
Which Jacoby isn't half bad, and Drake May we haven't seen yet because he's obviously a rookie.
Yeah.
Their main problem is their O-line.
And plus, the Patriots have a hard time winning Bengals Stadium too. I think.
That is true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's true.
The source is Trust J Lakers.
Yeah.
For that one.
The next is your Sunday Night Football.
The Rams visiting the Lions, a rematch.
The Lions almost went to Super Bowl. If they beat the Niners, they will probably play their first ever Super Bowl. And the Detroit Lions won their division for a really long time. For 31 years, I think. Years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And then who's the quarterback for both teams?
Matthew Stafford, former Lion, will be the Rams quarterback, and Jared Goff, former Ram, will be the Lions quarterback.
That was all. Like what? Okay. The next.
So yes, this was the revenge game back in the playoffs when they went against each other in the wild card. But now it's regular season week 1, Sunday Night Football.
Yep. And we have your Monday Night Football.
New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers, a healthy Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's back now. I hope he can get more than 3 plays.
Yes.
Then
so too.
Then your quarterback.
And Brock Purdy with the Niners. I see the Niners winning this one. I like the Jets defense, great defense. I still don't trust the O-line too much. While the Niners, they re-signed Ayuk, they restructured
They did.
They restructured the tackle. Why can't I remember the name off the top of my head?
I don't know the name either.
Wow. Trent Williams, that's his name. Sorry, I pulled a blank there. But they
That's fine. Yeah, you know
Trent
what?
Williams
when people do like this kind of podcast, they blink sometimes too. It happens.
Oh yeah.
Okay, next.
It's natural. It's live most of the time. But yeah, that's basically it. But here is the total predictions that we have for every other game.
My team, I have Baltimore Ravens taking on over Kansas. Friday night, I have Philadelphia. I have Pittsburgh over Atlanta. Falcons, right? The Falcons.
Yep.
I have the Bills over the Cardinals. Chicago over Tennessee, Cincinnati over New England Patriots, Colts over Houston, Jacksonville over Miami, New Orleans over the Carolina, Minnesota over the Giants, Chargers over the Las Vegas Raiders, Seattle over Denver, Dallas over Cleveland Browns, Tampa Bay over Washington, and Detroit Lions over the Rams, and the Niners over the Jets. Now your turn.
I basically have almost the same thing. I have Atlanta over Pittsburgh though. I feel like Atlanta at home. They have Kirk Cousins. It'll be a little.
They're missing a couple
messy, but
players.
they are, but it'll be a little messy.
We'll
but
see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
I'll be watching that game.
I for sure will be too. I have Houston over Indianapolis though, instead of you saying the Colts. Year 2 CJ Stroud could be really good, or maybe it could be that sophomore slump. I highly doubt it for CJ.
Because these both Houston and Indianapolis are the same division.
That is true, and Indianapolis is going to get Anthony Richardson back for hopefully a full year. Then what else? I have Miami over Jacksonville as well.
We both got New Orleans.
We both got New Orleans. We both got Minnesota. I have the Raiders over the Chargers. Both have Seattle, Dallas. Pretty much the same for the rest of the way. Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. This has been the first episode of the inaugural season of the JOTO Show.
Don't forget to subscribe and like the notification bell on this channel and my 3 channels, all 3 of my channels, and Tony Boney's 3 channels, and join the Discord. It will be in the description. See you guys all next time. Bye.